Kirtan first?
Yes, Mataji, if you can.
Oh, okay. You'll have to come out, Prabhuji. It tells me I can't do anything yet. You'll need to stop sharing.
Okay. If it's okay, I can sing from my screen also, because I think most of the people knows the kirtan.
Yes. Okay, if you want to.
So if Prabhuji and you are okay, then I can do like that, Mataji.
Yes, that's fine. Okay.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Dandavat Pranam to all the devotees. I'll start the session by singing a kirtan, which I thought is will be relevant or appropriate to the topic on which we are going to talk. If you cannot hear me or this thing, please let me know, because these technical issues. Hare Krishna. Manasa deho geho jo kichu mor orpilo tuha pode nand kishor. Manasa deho geho jo kichu mor orpilo tuha pode নন্দ কিশোর। সম্পদে বিপদে জীবনে মরণে দায় মম গেলা তুহা পদ বরণে। সম্পদে বিপদে জীবনে মরণে দায় মম গেলা তুহা পদ বরণে। মার বিরাখবি जो इच्छा তোহার নিত্য দাস প্রতি তুহা অধিকার। মার বিরাখবি जो इच्छा তোহার নিত্য দাস প্রতি তুহা অধিকার। জন্ম বিমোহে ইচ্ছা যদি তোর ভক্ত গৃহ জানি জন্ম মোর। জন্ম বিমোহে ইচ্ছা যদি তোর ভক্ত গৃহে জানি জন্ম মোর। কীট জন্ম যথা তুয়া দাস বাহির মুখ ব্রহ্মা জন্মে নাহি আস। কীট জন্মে যথা তুহ দাস বহির্মুখ ব্রহ্মা জন্মে নাহি আস। ভক্তি মুক্তি স্পৃহা বিনা যে ভক্ত লোভাইতে তাক সঙ্গ অনুরক্ত ভক্তি মুক্তি স্প্রিয়া বিহীন যে ভক্ত লোভাইতে তাকো সঙ্গ অনুরক্ত জনক জননী দয়িতাতনয়ে প্রভু গুরুপতি তুহু সর্বময় জনক জননী দয়িতাতনয়ে প্রভু গুরুপতি তুহু সর্বময় ভক্তি বিনোদ কবে শুনো কানা রাধানাথ তুহু আমার পরাণ ভক্তি বিনোদ কহে শুনো কানা রাধানাথ তুহু আমার পরাণ মানস মানস দেহ গেহ যো কিছু মোর ওর পিল তুয়া পদে নন্দ কিশোর মানস দেহ গেহ যো কিছু মোর ওর পিল তুহা পদে নন্দ কিশোর মানস দেহ গেহ যো কিছু মোর ওর পিল তুহা পদে নন্দ কিশোর হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ গৌর প্রেমানন্দের হরি হরি বল
Thank you, Prabhuji. So very nice. So nice. I think it goes, like you said, it goes very nicely. So melodious. Thank you so much. And would you like to do the Manglacharan prayers today, please?
Sure, Mataji.
Okay. Do you want anyone to follow, or will you do it yourself? Up to you.
Mataji, if someone wants to follow, most welcome, Mataji. That will be very nice.
Okay, sure. Have we got any volunteers today, please? Yes, Mataji, would you like to join today in Manglacharan?
Maybe everyone can follow Mataji if it is okay. Yes, perfect, Prabhu. Just let me open because I don't I know it by heart, but because everyone is following, I'll need to open this thing so that I can stop for everyone to in the right places for everyone to follow. Just if you give me 1 second, please. Okay, let me start. I'll try to stop in the right places. Um, Krishna. Om Aggana Timirandhassa Gananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitan Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swa Padantikam. Please, if you want to follow.
ॐ अज्ञानान्धस्य
ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया
ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया
तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः।
नमः।
श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन
भूतले
भूतले स्वयं
स्वयं
कदा
कदा मह्यं
ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्।
Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Utapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsa Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parigyana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vitamsa
वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगनुरघुनाथान्वितं सजीवम् सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीचैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च
He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpathe Gopesha Gopika Kanto Radha Kanto Namostute.
हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त अभकान्त नमोऽस्तुते
Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye.
सप्तकाञ्चन
सप्तकाञ्चन
काञ्चन
गौराङ्गी
गौरङ्गी
राधे
राधे
वृन्दावनेश्वरी
वृन्दावनेश्वरी
वृषभानुसुते
वृषभानुसुते
देवी
देवी
प्रणमामि
प्रणमामि
हरिप्रिये
हरिप्रिये।
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuva eva cha patitanam pavanevyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
च कल्पतरुभ्यश्च
कृपा
कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च
सिन्धुभ्येव
पतितानां
पतितानां
पावनेभ्यो
पावनेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः
Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Swami Bhaktivedanta Iti Namine.
नमो
ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने
Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschat Deshatarine
Namaste
नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी
Gauravani
प्रचारिणे
Nirvishesha
निर्विशेष
Shunyavadi
शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य
Paschatya
देशतारिणे
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवशदि गौर भक्त वृंद।
जय श्री कृष्ण
श्री
चैतन्य
कृष्ण
नित्यानंद
चैतन्य
श्री
प्रभु नित्यानंद
श्री
द्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे
हरे
कृष्ण
कृष्ण
हरे
Hare Krishna,
कृष्ण
कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Krishna Krishna,
हरे
Hare
हरे
Rama,
राम
हरे
राम
Hare
राम
Rama, Hare
हरे
Rama,
राम
Rama
राम
Rama,
राम
Hare
हरे
Hare.
हरे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
Hare
हरे
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Krishna
हरे
कृष्ण
Krishna,
हरे
Hare
हरे
Hare
हरे
Rama,
राम हरे
Hare
राम
Rama,
राम राम हरे
Hare
हरे
Hare.
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
हरे
कृष्ण
कृष्ण
Krishna Krishna,
कृष्ण
हरे
कृष्ण हरे हरे
Hare Rama,
हरे
Hare
राम
Hare
राम
Rama,
राम
Hare
हरे हरे
Hare.
हरे कृष्ण।
Hare
So,
Krishna. Thank you so much.
thank you so much everyone. Okay, with all your permissions and with all your blessings, first of all, I would ask you for forgiveness for any mistakes that I will do in this session. I don't have enough knowledge. I don't know anything, so I may be making mistakes. So please feel free to correct me whenever you think that I'm saying something wrong or which is not in the scripture. Um, so my humble request to forgive me for any mistakes that I'll make in this session. So in this session, I discussed with Prabhuji, and Prabhuji nicely said that to speak about maybe okay, to speak about Jada Bharata, because it can be a nice continuation from last session where Jayvit Mataji was did speak about Bharat Maharaj. And this is basically like a continuation of Bharat Maharaj's life in the next lives. So there is a bit of a continuation uh, of that, and hence it was a very nice suggestion by Amoga Prabhu, and I tried to prepare it by going through Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, from 5.8 to 5.13, 14, and I've tried to read. I've read all the purports from Srimad of Srila Prabhupada. So I would like to pay my humble obeisances to Srila Prabhupada for all the purports and all the things that he has put together for us. Um, and with my pranam to him, to all the gurus, to all the seniors, I would like to start this session. Prabhu, is it okay for me to start the session?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So first, we will do Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, as I said, in this session, I'd like to discuss the life of uh, Bharata and what are the lessons that we get from his life, and also um, later on when he gives his uh, preachings to a king. We'll reflect on those preachings, and we will try to see what are the key learnings that we have from those from what Jada Bharat preached to the king. Before we go into that, I was just thinking that uh, you know maybe we all know that it is a conversation between King Parikshit and Sukadeva Goswami in Srimad Bhagavatam, and it's a mainly, we'll talk a little bit about Bharata's life, because also there is a lot of learning from there, and then we will delve into his conversation with King Rahuguna. So that will be the main theme of today's topic, and we will explore certain things like mechanics of karma. Uh, he Jada Bharata is going to talk about Atma and Deha versus Atma. Uh, he will reflect on attachment and detachment, and then there will be he will be also talking to the king about bhakti, because that's what Rahugana is going to ask him at one point of time, and he is going to elaborate on that. So before we get into it, why don't we reflect for a minute in the Jayvit Mataji's class of last week, and about the Bharat Maharaj story. So, is anyone willing to share some reflections from that last class of Bharat Maharaj?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please can accept my humble obeisances of Gotishla Prabhupada.
And Avatarana
Uh,
Mataji.
Jayvit Mataji, she did some kind of extensive research and she talked so nicely in that class, which was great. But she also talked about Bharat Maharaj, his first incarnation, who was his first was like a king, and then how he got attached to the deer, how he left home. He went for meditation, but that he got attached to a deer, which is like we are doing nowadays. We got attached to everything and we forget our main goal of the life. And also she spoke about how Maharaj Bharat, he left his body thinking of the deer, and then in his next life he got the body of a deer, and then he went to the ashram of Pulaha Rishi, and he remembered his past life, and from there, how it proceeded further to become Jadbharat. Hare Krishna. I don't want to take too much of the time, but it's a story. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. That was you have put together it so nicely. He was a renounced king. He was detached from power and opulence. He was absorbed in devotional meditation. Yet he fell, and as you said, the reason for his falling was his attachment towards this baby deer fawn, and he got so attached that he even forgot his sadhana, and he got too attached, and that was the reason for his falling. So there is an important learning there between the gross renunciation and subtle attachment. Even the subtle attachment that he had with this deer ultimately led to his fall. So for us who are in the path of bhakti, I think it's a great learning for us also, and something that we need to bear in mind, that how much of emotional identification we are doing with something, and how much of consciousness we are directing towards that emotional identification is for us, is important for us to assess from time to time, and make sure that uh, we are not that emotionally attached that we forget our ultimate goal, or our ultimate this thing, which is the primordial Lord Krishna. So thank you, Mataji. You have put it very nicely there. And this attachment is not an external attachment. It's the mind basically, and is the self which is relating to this emotion. So his compassion shifted into possessiveness, as Jayvit Mataji has very nicely explained in the last class. From his service to the Lord, it went into mamta, which is mindness. It was mine. It is what it will do without me. That kind of a mindset. And then it led to the bondage. So I'll not dwell on it because Mataji has already given such a nice class on that last week. But I thought we'll just reflect on it for a minute before we move on, because in today's topic also, this is also very important to keep in mind. Um, there is I've put this because at the end of Bharat Maharaj's life, there are a few things that also comes into as a learning, like though he left his body and he was born as a fawn, but whatever one remembers at death, that state one attains, that we have read in the Bhagavad Gita 8.6. Yam yam vapis maranan bhavam taya jati ante kalevaram. So his consciousness was so much with the deer that in the next life also he got born as the deer. So it's not like a punishment or anything, but it's just the continuity of the consciousness. He went into that consciousness where his consciousness was so attached to the deer that it's almost like a law of psychic momentum. So in the next one also he's carrying that momentum and getting born as the deer. So that's something that I was reflecting on. And the other thing is our subtle body, which is called linga sarira. It carries all the impressions, which are the samskaras. And when we passed, our subtle body moves on, it carries these impressions to the next life. So whatever we are allowing our subtle body or linga sarira to have impressions, we have to be careful, because those are the things that will be, those samskaras will continue with us. And because death, as we all know, is for most of our, or at least for me, it will be a transition, not a termination, because I'm not that elevated to I do not know whether I'll be able to finish, but so that's why we need to be so careful and mindful about this transition that will happen to the next life. The deer birth again there is a, though he was born as a deer, he retained his memory because he was such a elevated devotee at one point of time. So when we are doing our japa, our progress, or we are exploring Krishna consciousness, there will be certain things which will be retained in our memory, maybe, and maybe if we can really elevate ourselves. So it's not that everything is forgotten or everything is being lost, and also whatever we are accumulating during this life through our bhakti, hopefully we'll be able to carry some of it to our next lives. So basically, this suggests that divine grace is also operating beyond strict karma, because the bhakti is never destroyed. So bhakti still moves on, and as we have seen in Bharat Maharaj's story, and we will see in this story that we are going to talk about in a second, that bhakti is continuing. So that's also very important to um, bear in mind. And as is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 2.40, bhakti once began it keeps on accumulating. It's not lost. It goes on accumulating from one lifetime to the other. And also in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.17, it says that neha bikrama nashasti. So whatever is this thing, it doesn't get destroyed. So even incomplete bhakti saves one from the greatest fear. So this I thought is an important point to reflect, and we will see how this has also transpired into Jada Bharata's life. Uh, so before we get into the Jada Bharata's life, maybe some of you are already aware, but I'll just say in brief. Uh, what happened in to Jada Bharata. So Jada Bharata, in fact, after the Bharat Maharaj, he was born as fawn, as a small deer. He, as Mataji, as Indrulika Mataji likely said, he stayed near the ashram. He stayed completely uh, isolated so as not to create any karmic reactions. And in the next life, he was born. So he was born in a Brahmin family. Uh, his father was a very pious person. Through his father's first wife, he had 9 stepbrothers, and then the Brahmin married the second time with his second wife. There was a twin, and Jada Maharaj was one of the twins. The nine, and when he was born, he was like a like he was like a almost seemed like a dull person, unintelligent person. He wouldn't respond, he wouldn't get involved in anything, he will stay isolated. Though his father tried his level best, because his father was very affectionate towards Jada Maharaj, and he tried his level best to give him the knowledge of the scriptures, etc. But he almost sort of was a withdrawn. He was not this thing. And his 9 brothers, 9 stepbrothers, till though they were not very nice, but his father is to protect him. But after his father passed away, those 9 brothers were very rude towards him, used to mistreat him a lot, and used to uh, but Jada Maharaj, in spite of all these things, will never say anything. He will survive in he will be given the worst possible food. He will be, the burnt rice from the bottom of the pot will be scraped for him. He will just have that, and he will just do whatever work he has to do to just get food to eat. That's all. He was a very strong person also at the same time. Um, and though his 9 brothers were not, though they were so rude, they were not ignorant people. They were learned in terms of they knew the Vedas, etc. But they were still, they could not understand Jada Maharaj. So one of the things that I reflected on is, you may be reading, you may have the knowledge of the Vedas, etc. But if your mind is not into uh, into Krishna consciousness or into God, then you are not humble. So you do lose the capability to even understand the other soul, other person, and you tend to misjudge or misread that person, and that's why they were treating him in such a uh, bad way. So he was very silent. He was unresponsive, and apparently he seemed like an unintelligent. But why was that? Why he was like this? Because from his past learnings as Bharat Maharaj, he wanted to, in this lifespan of Jada Maharaj, to not have any identity with anything. He didn't want it to have any karmic reaction. He didn't want it to get into any ego entanglement with anything. It was not an escapism, but because he was already so elevated, and he had so much of knowledge. He was such a huge big devotee, but then he learned it in the very hard way of what has happened to him because of his fondness with this deer. So he wanted to avoid it at all cost, and that's why he wanted to have no kind of entanglement. So basically, he was into atahara prayashascha, means he wanted to avoid, he over endeavor an unnecessary social entanglement. So he didn't want to have any kind of entanglement with the society. So this is how he was. Now, before I go into this thing with the king, there was a very interesting story. So he was told to guard a paddy field or something like that by his nine step brothers, uh, because otherwise they would not give him food. So that's what. So he was sitting in an elevated place in a on the and was guarding the field, and there were these dacoits who came and this thing, and these dacoits were really kind of ferocious ones who would give narabali, means they will give bali of even human beings in front of uh, Mata Bhavani or this thing to mainly form of Kali to before they will go for their dacoity. So that was that's how they used to ask for benediction. So it was to that level. So they caught him, they took him to the this thing, and still he didn't say anything. He was a strong person, but he still didn't fight, didn't say anything. And when he was about to be he was put in the bali, and in the sacrifice, and his head was about to be this thing, then the Bhavani Mata, she came out of her this thing, and she killed all the dacoits, etc. The learning is that a devotee who is so submissive to the Lord, even Lord protects him at that kind of a distress, at that kind of a situation um, where there was no hope, there was no one else to protect him. But Ma Bhavani herself took a Chamunda roop and killed all the dacoits and this thing, and he got and Lord protected him like that. So that was a very interesting pastime, which I thought we'll reflect on for a second. So basically, if you basically, what is Jada Maharaj? This thing is, he's saying that the human life is meant for tapasya. It's not for sense gratification. So in Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.1, it is saying, Nayam deho deha bhajam naruloke kastan kaman arate vid bhujam ye. So this human life is for our devotion, for our tapasya, is to be submitted to the Lord. It's not meant for sense gratifications. And that is a very important, I think, takeaway for me. Also, we know that in Bhagavad Gita 7.19, Lord is saying, Bahunam janmanam ante Gyanavan mam prapadyate Vasudeva ha sarvam iti sa mahatma su dullava. So he's saying that there are very rare souls who can, after many life of devotion and understanding that the Lord is the supreme, they only after that they realize this not quickly after many births. And if you even look at such an elevated person as Bharat Maharaj, we see that it took him few births to really come become so purified to be submitted to the Lord's feet, lotus feet. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhyalila 20.108, it says, Jivero Swarupo Hoye Krishnero Nitya Dasho. So basically, it says that for the living beings, their reason for being is to be the dasa of Krishna. So that's something that we have to reflect on. This is, I just put a photo of Jada Maharaj and King Rahuguna having this conversation, and we'll go into that conversation just now. So basically what happened is that after this uh, Mata Bhavani incident, then in the next chapter it picks up that this King Rahuguna, uh, he needed palanquin bearers, and so his men caught hold of Jada Bharat, and he was made to carry the palanquin of the King Rahuguna. He was strong. He was this thing. So they thought that they can, and in fact, most of these palanquin bearers were forced into it, and he was strong. He was carrying the palanquin, but he would walk very carefully because he was careful not to even step on a ant because he didn't want to even harm a single ant. And first, the Rahuguna was slightly disturbed because the other palanquin bearer said, "Oh, he's not doing it." So he said that, "Come on, you have to carry me properly." Even then, Jada Bharat still continued to walk in the similar way. And finally, the king got very disturbed and very angry, and he mocked Jada Bharat, and then he sort of spoke to him extremely rudely in a very harsh way. And that's the time that then Jada Maharaj Bharat finally responded. And because till this time we have not seen Jada Bharat respond to anything, so this is the time that Jada Bharat responded. And Jada Bharat first responded saying that, because the king was very proud, he said, "I'm the king. How dare you carry me like this? How can you do this to me? You are just a palanquin bearer. You are nothing. And I can punish you in a very severe way, etc." First reflection of Jada Bharat was that he humbly has put that you are not the king and I'm not the carrier. Basically, what he was trying to say is that you are identifying yourself and myself with our bodies. We are much beyond our body, it's our souls. And you don't even have an idea about my soul or your soul. So just by thinking that you are the king and I'm the carrier, and we are very different to each other, maybe you are just stuck on the bodily conception of these things. And then he spoke exactly what I said about the body and the Atma. Basically, he said that the body is the product of the gunas, and it's subject to change. It's never going to stay the same, and then it's just an outcome. It's an instrument of the Prakriti. And then he said that the Atma, he reflected on the Atma and he spoke about it, saying that, basically Atma is witnessing this. It's immutable, it never dies, and it's self-luminous. So if you are just identifying yourself and myself with the body, you are wrong. You are not even understanding the main philosophy or the um, main thing about that we are the spirit souls, and you are not focused on the spirit souls, but you're just focused on the body. So and your superiority is just based on your bodily this thing, not on the based on how our spirit souls are. So then the king was really taken aback because he was not expecting this kind of a spiritual conversation or talk from Jada Bharat. And then he submitted and he said that, "Oh, you seem to be from a very well educated family. You seem to be very knowledgeable. Please teach me about your learnings, and please talk to me about your learnings and make me educated." So that's then this conversation further progress. And then basically he said that the self-realized soul knows I do nothing at all. So basically the self-realized soul knows that we don't have any control about anything that we are doing. It's all being framed and being put together by the Supreme. We are just an instrument in his hand. and we are just doing what he wants us to do. So the king was thinking that, oh, I'm this, I'm this big king, I'm the ruler, I've got so many subjects, etc. To that, Jada Bharata said that actually, you are nothing. You are just an tool in the hand of the Supreme. So you are forgetting that, and you are thinking yourself to be more than what you are exactly. And then in Srimad Bhagavatam, also in 1084:13, it says that yashmat ma buddhi kunape tri dhatuke, means identifying self with the body is the biggest ignorance. So was basically what Jada Maharaj was telling to the king. And then he gave this example of the forest, whereby he said that, you know what, it's like we are you think we are in a surrounded like being in a forest. Why is that? Because we are the merchants, we are the conditioned souls. There are bandits, basically, which are our senses. Then there are these different whirlpools, different things going around us, and these are all the family attachments. And then there are these lions and jackals which are around us, which are basically nothing but time and death. So if you reflect on this way, in this how we are surrounded, and he said that this is like a dangerous forest, and this is the dangerous forest that we are within, whereby our senses, our conditioned souls, our affinity for temporary pleasures, our attachments and severe attachments to a certain things, and then ultimately, it will be the time and the death. So that again, is something which was, the king was very impressed, or not impressed, but it was a great learning for the king. And he said that, that's a very deep kind of a explanation of this philosophy. And then, even if we reflect on Bhagavad Gita 15.1, it says that Urdha Mulam Adha Sakham. So basically, we have heard about this inverted tree, and then the inverted tree. How does it spread with its branches and this thing? And our material existence is compared to that inverted tree, where there are so many branches, etc., that goes and gets caught in different things. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 20.18 also it says that conditioned souls wanders in Brahmananda. Basically, we just wander without any aim, without any purpose, moving from one sense object to the other, one's gratification to the other. And we are in this whirlpool of attachments, etc. And we are just wandering uh, in this world, in this attachment. Um, One of the important thing also that Jada Maharaj in this conversation with the king was the ahankara, the ego. The king's ego was so big, and that was also one of the roots of all the bondages. So because he was saying that, I'm the king, I'm the doer, I'm the controller, I'm this that. So um, if we reflect on Bhagavad Gita 3.27, and where it says that ahankara vidut atma kartaham iti mannate, false ego creates illusion of doership. Basically, that happened to the king. Basically, he was thinking that he is the doer, he is the creator, he is the controller of everything, while actually it was just his false ego which was making him think like that. And the duality, always arises from this body conception. And then in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 22.109, it again says that forgetting Krishna is the root of all our material bondage. This material bondage that we are in, or we get caught in this material bondage more and more because of our forgetting the Supreme Lord. Once we start connecting to the Supreme Lord, we will see that, yes, maybe we'll have certain bondages, but our primary bondage it becomes with Krishna. The other bondages are almost secondary, are almost sublime to that. So yes, we are still doing certain duties that we have to do as being part of the family, etc. But ultimately we understand, we realize that our bonding is with something else, with someone else, is with the supreme lord. And that's what was the king was missing. And then he's appreciated Rahuguna's kingship is said to be, it was a psychological projection. It was dependent on collective agreement of all his subjects, etc. And is the true sovereignty is mastery over the mind. So basically, he was a ruler, but he was not the ruler of his mind. His mind was ruling him. So that was another important thing. Whether we are allowing the mind to rule us, or we are able to rule our mind. So that was what Bharat told to the king, that you have to think that you are thinking this because your mind is basically ruling over you. You think you are the ruler, but actually you are not. Your mind is. We know why. We'll just reflect back a little bit on Bharat Maharaj, and we know how he failed. His meditation was profound. He failed, uh, you know, because his affection got redirected. So the moment we lose that focus from the Supreme, from the lotus feet of the Supreme, there is a chance that our mind will go to other places, and that is be the reason for our falling. Um, that's what my understanding is from this. Though I'm saying we, but I am not even qualified to say this because I'm already fallen. So that's what something I think. It comes out from the story of the Bharat Maharaj, and in Bhagavatam, it emphasizes that bhakti has to be exclusive, and it has to be centered around one and only one. There is if we have this bhakti or affection or devotion towards different things, then I think it is very difficult to keep it focused to one. And that's one of the things that we have to think about. And detachment maybe alone is not enough. Detachment alone is unstable, because we can be detached for a certain point of time, but until and unless we are fixed with the devotion to the Supreme, that detachment can be unstable, that detachment can be maybe short-lived. So that's why it is important that we have to have the devotion which reorients our attachment towards the absolute. And that devotion can only help us from staying stable, staying detached, and be focused to the Supreme. Also, Jada Bharat is stating that liberation cannot be achieved by ritual alone. He's saying that it cannot be achieved by austerity alone or by intellectual speculation, but it can be achieved with association with Mahatmas, Sadhu Sangha, which we have spoken about in several sessions in the Sangha. It has to come from the devotional absorption, and it has to come from grace. Knowledge is relational. It's not merely conceptual. So if you on this basis, if you reflect to Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.2, it says that Mahat Sevam Dwaram Ahur Vimukte. Service to devotees open the doors to liberation. This, I think, we have discussed even in the last few sessions. The importance of service to the devotees, importance of sadhu sangha, and that's all, again, Jada Maharaj, Bharat also is telling the king, because the king is asking that, okay, how can I achieve this? And there he is saying that it has to be coming from the service to the devotees, and it by the sadhu sangha. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22:83, it says, Sadhu Sangha, Sharbo Shastre Koye. Sadhu Sangha is being mentioned in every scripture, is being emphasized in every scripture. And it is very important, and so it's being emphasized in this phrase. And even in Nectar of Devotion, it is being said that devotional creeper grows through association. And it's as we are also seeing it. At least I am seeing it in my in this short journey, that it is the uh, association with the devotees, is the association with others, that we are slowly, at least I'm trying to slowly, s- understand, learn, grow a little bit, um, and I think because we are practically doing it, practically seeing it, so we can reflect on what the sadhu sangha is doing, how the association of the devotees are helping us in our journey in the Krishna consciousness. We know that Lord says in Bhagavad Gita that He has given us free will. That's He has given us. It's up to us how we want to use the free will. So Jada Bharata has also said to the king that, you have got the free will. You can do either devotion, you can this thing, or you can do whatever you feel like. But how you are using your free will determine how you are going to manage your karma, your personal responsibility, and your divinity. And all these are interlinked. So someone can use the free will to study scriptures, to learn Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, or can use the free will to do something else. So the Lord has always, because that was a very special thing about our Lord, is that He has never said that He's forcing anyone to do anything or to this thing. He has said, these are the things is will be good, but I've given you free will. Either you take my advice or do this, and you come back to me, or you can do your free will and use it for sense gratification, or however you want to use it. That's up to your own discretion, because human beings, we that I think is one thing that we have been given the freedom of, is the free will. And the Bharata's life shows that the actions, they shape the trajectory of the future life, or or what is going to happen. Consciousness determines the rebirth. With what consciousness we live and we die will determine our rebirth. And the devotion also overrides the karmic finality. The devotion, because he was devoted, though he failed, but then when he was born as the small deer, he kept himself isolated, free from all the karmic this thing. Similarly, when he was born as Jada Bharat, he kept himself free of all the karmic reactions. So, and he was completely devoted to the Lord. His only thing was that though he seemed outwardly as a dull person, unintelligent person, but actually his mind was only focused on the Lord. So again, that was a great example of how the devotion and how your oneness with the Lord can determine how to get the finality of the karmic reactions. He never ever, like, even in the though he was a elevated soul, he didn't even uh, stop anyone from insulting him. He didn't protested. He didn't get into a fight. He remains unaffected. He speaks only when necessary. He doesn't talk unnecessarily. And in fact, in the Jada Bharat's life, other than this conversation with the king, almost it seems that he wanted to stay isolated. He wanted to stay quiet. He didn't want to get into with anything or anyone. Even when his 9 stepbrothers were mistreating him, he will not say anything. So um, yeah, I think that is only for us to sort of see, because it's very difficult to be in such a elevated place whereby in spite of so much of mistreatment you don't say anything. um, so and the science of realization, it comes from the non-reactivity. We tend to react at every moment, everything, if someone says anything to me, I will react or I'll say something. How to get into this reactivity mode is something I think is important to reflect on from Jada Bharat's life. Um, the other thing is that mind can be a friend or an enemy. Now, how whether you are allowing the mind to control you, or as I said before, whether you're controlling the mind, that will determine whether it's your friend or enemy. Uh, and in Bhagavad Gita 6.26, it says that bring back mind under control, and that can lead to your spiritual progression. When it says bring back mind under control means control your ego, absence of ego defense, um, be compassionate instruction, complete surrender. These are the three things that 6.26 is talking about. That you have to completely be devoid of ego. Uh, you have to have compassionate instruction, and you have to surrender. And in Bhagavad Gita 9.22, Krishna is saying that Anannas Chinta Ayantamam, Krishna protects exclusive devotees. So, as we have seen in Jada Bharat's life, when he was about to be sacrificed in front of the Bhavani Mata, Krishna protects him. So that's again he Lord mentions in Bhagavad Gita 9.22. Srimad Bhagavatam also 11.14.20 says that bhakti alone reveals Bhagavan. This bhakti of Jada Bharat was so intense that that even revealed the Bhagwan, or the Bhavani came into life to kill all the dacoits and release him. So some of the times whenever we talk about falling, we relate it to falling because of sensual pleasures, etc., etc. But actually, Bharat Maharaj's falling was more for subtle emotional attachment. So it may not be always a gross desire. It can be subtle attachments also, which can lead to problems. So that's something that I think is a important point to note for us. Also, the spiritual ego that I am advanced can lead to problems, because then you become overconfident, and there is a tendency of you may fall, or you may uh, become less focused from your path. So this really warns the practitioners that that they need to be careful about, even in the advanced stage, they need to be careful about certain things. So if we reflect on Jada Bharat's three births, his first birth was Bharat Maharaj. That was his engagement. He was a great ruler. He was a devotee, and then finally he fell. The life of the deer was almost like the life of correction that he had to go through. And then in the Jada Bharat's life, that was the transcendence that happened during that life, whereby he controlled all his senses, all his karmic reactions, and his mind was only focused on the Lord, and that's how he transcended. The core message that comes out is, attachment determines embodiment. So we have to be careful that with attachment there are certain things that gives rise to consciousness. How we are conscious, what we are thinking, will lead to our destiny. Where we are going to end, that will be determined by our consciousness. And the devotion determines liberation. Is that determination of being devoted, and following the devotional path with sincerity may lead to liberation. And ultimate surrender ends that karma cycle, which we are very familiar with this verse. from Bhagavad Gita 18.66, which is being mentioned in several sessions. Sarva dharmam parityajka mamekam saranam vraja aham tvam sarva papebho mukshayami masucha. So this is the last slide, and I've just put here that what Jada Bharat demonstrates. He demonstrates that karma is shaped by consciousness. How your consciousness is, that will be, that if you can have your consciousness pure, if you can have your consciousness not deviating, that will shape the karma. So that's why it's so important that the consciousness is something that we focus on. Bhakti is indestructible, that we have seen from Bharat Maharaj's life to the life of the deer and to the life of Jada Bharat. And from the example of the king, we have seen that ego is the root of all the bondage. And even the king had a big ego, and he was so bound by his ego. And then Jada Bharat is talking about it, and we have learned it in many different places. The sadhu sangha is the gateway to liberation. Is how we are associating, how we are talking, with whom we are associating. These are such important things to reflect on, and that ultimately will determine, how much of progress we will make in this spiritual life. And finally, again, exclusive surrender ends the samsara, which again we have reflected in the previous verse 18.66 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. I think that's all I have. Now I'll pause, and please, if you can, let me know about some corrections or questions or discussions that we would like to have. So first of all, please correct me wherever I have gone wrong, and please, Amukha Prabhu, you are very elevated and very knowledgeable, so please correct me, and then all the devotees, please correct me wherever I have said something wrong.
It was such a wonderful session, Swarup Prabhu. Directly spot on the point you mentioned what is needed. So really blissful to be part of the session, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, it was not me. Srila Prabhupada has said all these things in the, whenever we get a chance, if you can go through Canto 5, 8 to 13, he has explained everything. In fact, I could not even do justice to what he has said in such a beautiful way. So it's, I would highly recommend, I found reading it and reflecting on it very, very useful.
Sure, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. It is a wonderful session to reflect so many points about Jada Bharata and the takeaway points. And there's one point which is striking my mind about attachment in subtle way. So nowadays we see so many of people comes from the devotees families. So just like in the Varnashram, the top one, Brahmana families. So there Krishna says, Tatra Sattvam Nirmalatvat Prakashakam Anamayam Soka Sangena Badnati Jnana Sangena Chanaga. Krishna says, even the mode of goodness, it will entangle them in this material world. Sukha Sangena Badnati. That Sangha, Sukha Sangha, it happens more subtle ways. So we born in the Brahmana family, we know. So Prabhupada used to say there are smart the Brahmanas. Some people they come in the tradition, so they engage everything, but they are feeling so much comfort to execute the devotional service. But that is like okay, it is in another way they think that okay, our livelihood is now there is no danger for that. Sukha Sangena Badnati, Jnana Sangena, we have got enough knowledge. That one also it entangles them, Badnati.
Yes, Prabhu.
So one subtle attachment. We see in front of our eyes, they are all engaged in the services, going in temple, doing archana and everything else. But still, they are attached to those comforts. Okay, that also needs to be cut. So that's why Krishna again, they're all Vedic karma kandas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. So and also for ashramas, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha. But everything is meant only for Samsiddhi Haridoshan. So one must elevate, come out of from that comfort zone. And what Krishna actually is asking us to do it, that needs to be taken. Again, there are so many other things. Rahuguna tapasana yati na chejaya nirvapana gruhadva, and then na chandhasa jalagnihi naiva jalagnihi suryehi vina mahatpada rajobhishekam. Mahatpada rajobhishekam. Unless one renders service onto the lotus feet of devotees, vina mahatpada rajobhishekam. Just bathe himself in the dust of the Vaishnavas like that. Jada Bharata gives so much. But again, Naim Deho Dehe Bhajam Duloke Kastan Kaman Arhate Vidbhujam Ye Tapo Devyam Putrakayen Sattvam Sujya Jasmal Brahma Saukyam Tvanantam. Rishabhadev mentions again. So all these pains and pleasures, even it is available for hogs, even they're born in the very animal life, they also have got those things. Then ahar nidra bhima itunadi. Sukham, again, there are so many things. That sukham is tucham. It is very abominable thing. But Rishabhadev gives suggestion or instructions to his tapo divyam putrakayen hitam. Engage yourself in tapasya. Sujya Jasmal Brahma Saukyam Tvanantam. Once you are purified, Brahma Saukyam to Anantam. It is unlimited happiness of Brahman. That is the real instructions to as a father. Okay, so, but that's why all our great sages, they decide everything. Etan nirvidyamananam ichitam akudo bhayam yoginam rupa nirnita. Hare Nama Anukirtanam, always engage yourself in glorifying Krishna. Hare Nama Anukirtanam all the time. Okay, very beautiful. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. So much. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So thankful to you for covering this wonderful chapter. And it was, I think, so you did a very good justice to it. So don't worry about it. It was so nice. So there, what I liked was so many learnings that you yourself reflected on as well through each slides. But I have a question, but I'll ask later. I would just like to ask other people as well first, if that's okay. So Indulekha Mataji, do you want to share your reflections, please?
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Prabhuji, is that the first time you're giving it, Prabhuji?
This is the second time, Mataji. I gave one quite some time back.
Okay. I think this is my first time in your class. Very well presented. Thank you so much. And a nice explanation. And this story of Jada Bharat is a little bit like our story itself, how we get entangled in life and we forget everything. But if we think about Jada Bharat, who was a king, who was such an elevated soul, who was in the forest for his sadhana, and he forgot everything. So what to talk about us? Yes, we will bring back what sadhana is not lost. That last minute, what we do, that counts a lot, you know. So yeah, attachment, and we need to try to get detached and then get attached to Detachment is not only detachment, it will not stand on its own. That means detach from worldly affairs and we detach from Maya and we attach to Madhav. That is my takeaway from this class. Yes, also we talk about the power of association, which is great. If we don't have the association of devotees, we are not in the clusters, we don't read, we don't listen to kathas, then of course our mind will go, our fingers will keep sliding all the nonsense on WhatsApp, on Google, on Facebook or whatever. So this is a very good job that all of the devotees are doing, maintaining the classes constantly without deviation. And Jayvit Mataji also doing a great job. Amog Prabhu and Jayvit Mataji and what's his name? Prabhuji on Thursday, Shyam Prabhuji, Monday. So it's ongoing, which is very, very nice. Thank you so much, everyone. Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Prabhavati Sachi Mataji. Prabhavati Mataji, are you there? If not, we'll come back to you later. Meenakshi Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Prabhuji, wow, very nice class with the sloka and quoted everywhere. And so, yeah, so nicely you have said everything. And it really touched my heart, yeah, so nicely. Just one point, just one, because Jada Bharata was not saying anything. I just heard from somewhere that he did not say anything to anybody, but only when right person came, like king, at the time he only speak up with this. So this was, I just want to add that, but otherwise, yeah, very nice. It's not to add, but I'm saying that I heard from somebody he only speak up with the right person when he found like king. Otherwise, as you said, he was not saying anything to anybody. Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Very nice class.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Usha Mataji. Usha Mataji, are you there?
Yes, Mataji, sorry, Hare Krishna, unmute. And Prabhuji, Hari Bol, you get so nice class, Prabhu. I think you are. So last week I didn't listen to Jay Mataji's class, but as you just gave the reference earlier, and then you just said that Jay Mataji was saying about the Jayapura also. So you gave lots of reference from the Bhagavad Gita, and I think Prabhu, very nice words. So very wonderful class, and so much to learn, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Thank you, Usha Mataji. Thank you so much. Gayatri Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Swarup Prabhuji, such a wonderful, it was such a wonderful class, Prabhuji, you have made us realize a few extra points which we did not realize when we read Bhagavatam on our own. So the main point which I realized was like emotional attachment, not just material, but the emotional, like emotionally how getting attached to the deer, how Bharata fell down. And I had one question, Prabhuji, like when we are talking about, yes, association, it made such a big difference in my life. Now I see that association is so important for us, especially for me, a fallen soul. Without all your association, I would have not even a little bit whatever now I'm getting, I wouldn't have got. But my question was in the first when Bharat Maharaj, when he was a Maharaja, he didn't, he kind of isolated himself and he didn't get association. But once he got a deer body, again he went to the ashrama, Pulastha ashrama, and he got association even though as a deer. But once he is again Jada Bharata, did he get association, Prabhuji, or he was just on his own, just thinking he behaved as a madman, and he just and also Dhruv Maharaj also did not get any association. He just went into the forests. Even Prahlad Maharaj also had no association, but they all, how did they are, obviously they are all very much elevated, but I just wanted to know from you as well as from Amok Prabhuji a little bit more to understand better. Thank you, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I'll try a little bit, Mataji. I'm not, and then I'll hand it over to Amaga Prabhu. He will be able to reflect on it more. In Jada Bharata's case, or Bharat Maharaj's case, uh, already Bharat Maharaj was in a deeply devotional place in his life, and one point of time he was following the devotion in a very intense way. I do not know or remember with whose association he had at that time. I do not have that knowledge, so I cannot say anything on that. But my understanding is that during that process, he was already getting into a very elevated place, and he was in a very elevated place before he fell down because of the deer. But in Jada Bharat's case, situation again, because Bharat Maharaj was so elevated when he came as a deer, he was remembering all his past, and even in his Jada Bharat life, he was remembering all his past lives. So, in the Jada Bharat life, his only aim was to keep himself completely detached, completely distinct from karmic reactions. Though his father in Jada Bharat's life was a very elevated person, he was a great Brahmin, but he was even not trying to get into too much with him in terms of learnings, etc. So my understanding is that in Jada Bharat's life, he was trying to just carry on the learning or his great devotion that he had already developed from his past lives. And in this life of Jada Bharat, he was not trying to. He just didn't want to get into any karmic reaction. I'll now stop and I'll hand it over to Amaga Prabhu. He may be able to answer your question better.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
You have answered. So this remembrance again, here Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, they have got only one activity. It is a devotional service. They do not have. In Bharat Maharaj's case, so as he was associating with the deer, materially, bodily affection, not on the, though his aim is the devotional service, but actually he was attached to the body, dead body. So that is the only fall down. But in the Jada Bharat Maharaj, so he remembers all his pastimes, all the 3 lives. Now, he doesn't want asevayayam prakrutir gunanam jnanena vairagya vijrumbitena. So now he is not serving anymore to the bodies. He is being neutral to the material nature, knowing that prakrutehe karmani gunehi karmani sarvashaha ahankar vimudatma kartahum iti manyate. People, this is the misconception. But here Jada Bharat asevayayam prakrutir gunanam. He is not serving any of this material nature. That is the only thing. And internally, he is always in the meditation. Vyavasayatmaka buddhihi yekeha kurunandhana. So now he is aiming only one destination. So because of those reasons, again, maunam sadasana jayaha stairyam prana janasanaihi. So one has to keep quiet and do not speak as much as possible. And whenever something or opposite elements are coming in our way, our Acharya says that do not counteract those problems. Simply just tolerate. They will go away. Titikshavah. So again, this word is keep coming. So likewise, Jada Bharat Maharaj was just internally he is devotional, outside he is tolerating, not reacting to any of these things. Asevayayam prakutir gunanam. No more reactions to outside world. Eka bhakta anubhavite. Mano brahmanin jhano yattat sad asatah param. Gunabhasi Vigune, Eka Bhaktanubhavite, Eka Bhakta. Kadama Prajapati answered does the same thing when he left. Pratham Sasto Maunam, Atmaika Seruno Munihi, Atmaika Seruno Munihi, Nisango Betul Chonim, Anagnihi Aniketanaha. This is Niraham Kritihi Nirmamasha Nidbandvaha Samudruk Swadruk Pratyak Prashanta Dhideraha Prashanto Rumi Ivodadihi. So many things. Nidbandvaha. No more duality. Niraham Kritihi Nirmamasha Pratyak Prashanta Dhideraha Prashanto Rumi Ivodadihi. Prashanta Gurmi, like the ocean is very calm, though so many tides are coming. So likewise, Kaddama Prajapati also he did not go with the association there. He mentions Parivrajit Padavim Astoham Charshet Tvam Pradiyunjan Vishokaha. So, my dear Lord, please give me permission. I will wander around the world, keeping you in my heart. In such a way, I'll free from all kinds of lamentation. So, this is the mood of the devotees. There are already Eka Bhakjanu Bhavite, Mano Brahmani Injano, Yet that Sadasataha Param, Gunabhasi Vigune, Eka Bhakjanu Bhavite. Just did not have to associate because that's it. There is no more further. I want to develop jnana. I want to do something like that. They have come already. They have engaged in samadhi. That is samadhi, and only thing remaining is leaving the body. That is only the thing. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, so beautifully explained. Answered all my questions, Prabhuji. Very nice. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Both Prabhuji, Swarup Prabhuji and Amok Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Gaurangi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranam Mataji, and Hare Krishna Swarup Prabhuji. It's a nice class, Prabhuji, very nice. You talk about Bharat Maharaj, describe for him. So I listened to a little bit, but you talk about much than before I listen, not too much. So thank you, Sir Prabhuji. It's nice class, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, so much. We got Pavan Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Tanvat Pranam. Hare Krishna dear devotees. Swarup Prabhuji is a really good presentation with a very good pace. And yeah, most of the things relate to day-to-day activity and can try to reflect. Just one question related to, there's one slide which said we have to kind of tolerate and do not react, isn't it? So instead of reactive, so we can stay calm for what's happening around. But in practicality, that's really good, I understand. And in practicality, sometimes if we keep accepting what's coming through and not reacting, isn't it like we are not setting up boundaries, and that's gonna take our peace more and more away? Uh, if for example, if someone is rude and we are not reacting, so that's teaching them that, oh, okay, we can be more rude to this guy, and then more people see him and they follow the same, and it's gonna be chaos, isn't it? So in practicality, how can we deal when being more tolerant portrays as a weakness in the society?
Can I take it for Prabhu? Well, because Prabhu has already, Amaga Prabhu has already, I remember what he said, so I'll try to.
No problem. It's okay. Amago Prabhuji, yeah, you can. You can
So
answer it.
I'll try to say, because I'll try to test myself whether I've learned enough from Amaga Prabhu, because he has already reflected on this subject a few times. So, Pawan Prabhu, first of all, thanks a lot for coming into the session and participating. It's a very useful question, and it's a very difficult question, because in the material this thing, we always tend to react. And my this thing is that some of the times our reaction is the cause of many problems also. um, some of the times, if someone is rude, you can, even without reacting, you can just you can respond in a nice way. So you can either put your point of view across in a nice way rather than in a reactive way. And then, if there is this thing, then you have to say, okay, we have to agree to disagree, and you have to move on. you know that's how I know Amoga Prabhu has said that, okay, don't even say anything, just try to stay calm and move away. I'm saying that's ideally, if that should be our approach. But even if we, in the present day world, um, there is something called reaction and something called response. So, and that this is what someone was telling me. Most of the times we react immediately. Someone says something and we immediately react, and we even try to answer back by s- even continuing with the same sentence with which they were talking to us. We can pause, we can say our things very nicely, and not get into any argument or not get into any this thing, and then we can just be factual about things that we have to answer, and then we have to move on from that. That's my understanding from listening to Amoga Prabhu. Amoga Prabhu, please feel free to add to answer Prabhu's question.
Yes, Prabhuji, you did answer. Yes. So silently respond. That is the only thing. There are some circumstances where either response or silence, even that will not be tolerable for opposite people. So there are some one might see in day-to-day life. Either being quiet, especially they would see generally with the partners. Even the being quiet, or you only say a single word, or whatever you do. So, but there is no solution for that one. But one has to simply be quiet. So when you say something, still some opposite comes. And being quiet also something comes. In both situations, one must be no reaction. So, but even do not say even the smiling faces also. But sometimes we have to keep those smiles within the heart itself, knowing that only the bodies are responding, just only the egos are clashing. So we have to keep our all egos very quiet. And even sometimes what happens, even the smiles, these will also provocate uh, more frictions in the families. Just generally between male and female partners. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Swarup Prabhuji and Amoga Prabhuji, for beautifully answering that. Thank you.
Amoga Prabhu has given you a life sermon to follow in your future life.
Yeah, you guys are like building foundation for me. I can. It's like you guys are passing through the storm and saving me by giving all the tips.
Prabhu, in this, I do not know whether we can help you or save you. You have to go through your own this thing. I think it's something that has rarely spared anyone.
Yeah.
Lekha Mataji has something to say, it looks like.
Hare Krishna, I'm laughing, I'm smiling behind the camera here. Why? Because I would like to say an experience of my life, but I'm not going to detail, right? Somebody provoked me. He provoked me so much. I just put it down. I'm chanting. No beads bag, nothing. Just chanting. After hours, he came back to me and he said, "You don't have anything to say?" I say, "Are you hungry? Do you want me to serve you food?" And he said, "Yes." He sat down. I think you guess who he has been, but that's what I did. I'm laughing at myself, how calm I could be for hours of shouting and listening. Just put my head down and listen. And the storm calmed down. Laughing. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Mataji, for sharing your experience. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Upon Prabhuji, as we are on that topic as well, I would like to add at work and personal life as well, we would need to nurture a lot of tolerance as well. That would help, because then that would help the other person to calm down. Anyway, Prabhati Mataji, are you back? Maybe not. Rajya Lakshmi Mataji, I know you commented before. Have you got any more to add?
Nothing, Mataji.
Okay,
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you.
Someone called 108. Who's 108? Okay. Jagruti Mataji, I'm not sure whether you managed to hear though.
No, Mataji, I not managed to hear. I just joined.
Yes.
Sorry.
So.
Thank you
no
for
problem.
asking me.
No problem. Thank you so much. And Prabhuji, I won't take too much of
If
your
you
time.
don't mind, just summary a little bit what we talking
So
about.
that will be put out in the chat today, okay, Mataji?
Okay.
Yes, thank you. Okay. We won't take too much of time as we are already late. But one thing, I mean, I really like, there was so much to learn. Like Gayatri Mataji said and Meena Mataji, I had exactly the same points as well. So don't speak much, don't respond too much and all that. And for me, one statement I was not too sure about, in the sense that I didn't know that devotion overrides karmic finality. I thought that whatever is meant to be will happen. So you will have to go through the karma, and then devotion would help. I was not sure that I didn't know that it overrides completely. So that's something that I learned today as well.
Mataji, if I may something, I'm not sure whether it says completely, but it says devotion overrides karmic this thing. To what extent?
I don't know.
We have to reflect on that with Amaga Prabhu. But my understanding is that even in several places in Bhagavad Gita also it is being said that when we follow the path of devotion, it does cancel our karmic reactions of the past. Of course, we should not be continuing with those same mistakes or same things in the future. But the past karmic reactions, they tend to get eased out or erased.
Wiped off. Okay.
But means also what we have to, if you think about it, when we are in the devotional this thing, we generally just focusing our mind on Lord, isn't it? We are not focusing on our mind on others, or getting into any kind of envious situation or anything. Sorry, Prabhu is showing something, so that maybe we should reflect on that. I'll just stop and I'll see what Prabhu has to. Prabhu wants us to reflect on a verse that he has put up. Do you want me to read that, Prabhu, or Mataji? Mataji, do you want to read that Prabhu has put there on the screen?
Yes, okay. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, who burns up to their roots all fruitive activities of those who are imbued with devotion, and impartially ordains for each the due enjoyment of the fruits of one's activities, of all those who walk in the path of work in accordance with the chain of their previously performed work, no less in the case of the tiny insect that bears the name of Indragopa than in that of Indra, king of the Devas. Hare Krishna.
So this is karmani niddhati kintu cha bhakti bhajam. Karmani niddhati. Niddhati means it is destroys. All the karmic activities will be destroyed. Kintu cha bhakti bhajam, by the devotion service. Just to stress the Swarup Prabhuji's point. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Okay.
Krishna, Mataji, sorry, I would like to add something. But this question have been raised on bigger platforms. You know, I have asked him so many times in many classes, but most of the answers I received, which I do believe, is that our karma, we have to go through it life after life. Yes, we are doing devotional service. We are in the Krishna conscious movement. We are learning. So when we learn, then we know this is forbidden. We should not do this. Then we stop, right? But whatever is there is like a big bag of mustard seeds.
Yes.
One by one will come out, and we will have to go through our karma. That's what I heard from many great speakers.
And I had heard exactly the same example that you gave as well, that, but devotional service would help in how we cope with all our difficulties or whatever comes on our way, but we have to go through a karma. So that's why I was a bit confused. But
yeah, because devotional service, when we do, that will give us a strength, right?
Yes.
Like one Srila Prabhupada disciple, he came running to Srila Prabhupada. He says, Prabhupada, I'm cutting vegetable for the Lord, and look what happened. My finger is cut. Prabhupada laughed and he said, you are lucky. Your whole hand should be chopped off, but you get a little karmic reaction by your finger getting cut. So we don't, it doesn't erase completely. We have to come back and we have to go through it. But I don't know others what you think about it, but that is the answer I got. I think you were in the class when I asked this question. That's why you know the answer as well. Hare Krishna.
Don't know. Yeah, but it says here, I suppose. But thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah, just one thing, Mataji. Like if we do good karma or anything in our life, if we offer it to Krishna, does it not end the karmic cycle? Prabhuji, you're on mute.
Yeah, even that good karma is also entanglement.
Correct.
So that will also needs to be nullified. And the other day, Mridhasachi Mataji was sharing, Pap Kund Punya Kund. If you take bath in the Punya Kund, you lose all your punyas. If you take bath in the Pap Kund, or you lose all your papas. People will go and take only in the Pap Kund, not Punya Kund. They wanted to take some of the Bible. In the Nepal, I think Gauringi Mataji knows possibly.
Yes, Prabhuji, she was saying, but Srila Prabhupada, with his disciples, he went to bathe in the Yamuna River. So he asked his disciples, what happened when you take a bath in the Ganga? They say, all our sins are washed away. So what happens if you take bath in the Yamuna? So they didn't know Srila Prabhupada. We don't know. Srila Prabhupada said, the good karma is gone now. And they say, how come? Also, then Srila Prabhupada explained, if you have karma, you will have to come back again to enjoy it. So that's why you have to like kind of become nil. Then you know there's no good or bad. Because good also, when you come back to enjoy the good karma, you get entangled more. So this is Mataji was explaining.
Thank you, everyone, for your lovely reflections and guidance as well to us neophytes. But shall we do the prayers now? The final prayer, the Narsimha Arti, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
Shall we do 3 Hari Bols first to Swarup Prabhuji?
Yes.
Haribo.
Hari
Bol, Hari
Haribo.
Hari
Haribo.
Hari Bol. Thank you.
All
Prabhuji.
glories to the assembled devotees. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, would you like to do it today?
Hare Bol.
Mataji, if someone else also can do it, if that is okay, I can do it. Okay, maybe someone else can do the Nasanga Arati prayer. Maybe I do not know who
Amar
like to.
Prabhuji, would you like to do it today? And we follow you?
Yes, Mataji, I don't mind. I would got Jagrita and Mataji. Mataji would like to do that.
No, that's fine. Prabhuji, you can do it and I can lead. Sorry, you lead and I can follow.
Yeah, sure, Mataji.
Am I sharing at all?
No.
I'll share it, Mataji.
Oh, okay. I thought I was sharing. Sorry about that. Yeah.
उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् जय नरसिंह श्री नरसिंह जय जय श्री नरसिंह प्रह्लादेश जय पद्म मुख पद्मवृन्दम् नमस्ते नरसिंहाय
Namaste Narasimhaya
प्रह्लादलाददायिने हिरण्यकाशीपूर्वक्षः
Akashi Purvakshaha
लीलाटङ्कनकालये
Shilatankanakalaye
हितो नरसिंह परतो नरसिंहो
Ito
Bharato
यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंह
Yato Yato Amitato
कहे नरसिंहो हृदये नरसिंहो
Hridaye Narasimho
नृसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये
Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapade
तव करकमलवरे नकाम् दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गम् केशवद्रीत नरहरिरूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
Tavakara Kamalavare Naka Adbhuta Shringa Lalita Hiranyakashipu Tanurika Adrita Narari Rupa Jagdish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare
केशवद्रीत नरहरिरूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
Vishabhadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare
Jaya Narsimha Dev, Jaya Narsimha Dev, Jaya Narsimha Dev, Jaya Narsimha Dev.
Jai
Jaya Narasimhadev, Jaya Narasimhadev,
Jaya
Jaya
Narasimhadev,
Narasimhadev, Jaya Narasimhadev.
Jaya Bhakta Prahlad, Jaya Bhakta Prahlad, Jaya Bhakta Prahlad, Jaya Bhakta Prahlad.
Jaya
Bhakta Prahlad, Jaya
Jaya
Bhakta
Bhakta
Prahlad, Jaya
Prahlad, Jaya
Bhakta
Bhakta
Prahlad,
Prahlad,
Jaya
Jaya
Bhakta
Bhakta
Prahlad.
Prahlad.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya
Jaya Jaya
Jaya
Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev,
Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Nitya Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitya Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitya Gaura Hari Bol,
Hari
Hari
Bol,
Hari
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 Bol
Bol,
Bol.
Nitai
Sai
Gaura
Gaura
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
जय श्री विघ्न विनाशक नरसिंहदेव भगवान की
Jai.
Jai.
भक्ति शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की
Jai.
गौर प्रेमानंदे
Hari
Hari
Hari.
Hari
Hari Bol.
जय कृष्ण
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much,
See
Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
some of you tomorrow morning.
Have a nice. Prabhuji is going holiday, isn't it?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Mataji. Yeah, on Saturday.
Yeah, please pray for us, like when you go Mayapur.
Of course, Mataji, of course.
Just in case we don't.
Are you traveling to Mayapur, Prabhuji? Swarup Prabhu?
To Mayapur and to Jagannath Puri also, Mataji.
Wow,
Oh,
wonderful, Prabhu. Please offer our sincere namaskarams to Narsimhadev and Jagannath Maharaj, please.
Of course, Mataji.
Prabhuji,
Yeah.
pray for us as
Thank you
well.
so much, Prabhu.
same from myself, Prabhu. Please offer our
For everyone in the Sangha, Prabhu.
Of course,
Everyone.
of course. I'll have every one of you in my mind, Prabhus and Matajis, when I'm there.
yeah.
Next time also please pray for us to give the darshan soon, Prabhu. Last time I really thought, but I missed it. Yeah, but maybe next time I will plan to go. Yeah.
He has his plans, Mataji. We have to go by his plan. He will bring you there. Definitely.
Definitely.
Absolutely, Prabhu. Yeah, Sri Rangam I visited twice. So Ranganatha
Oh,
Swami invited twice, and Lord
we
Venkateshwara, Tirupati
are
I
so blessed,
visited twice.
Mataji.
Yeah,
I,
thank you.
I want to do all those things, but I never got a chance. So one
Oh,
time.
definitely, Prabhu. We will pray for you definitely to visit those temples also soon. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Have
Hare
a
Krishna.
wonderful divine Krishna
Jai
consciousness
Bol,
today.
Prabhu.
And divine journey, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa
Krishna.
sindhubhya eva patitanam pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo
vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
namo
Namo
namo.
Namaha.
Anant
Koti
Vaishnava
Vaishnava
Ki
Jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada
Prabhupada
ki
ki
Jai.
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 Prem Hare.